This video is extremely important. It is extremely urgent. Remember, I have many witnesses. They're covertly changing my look and my voice. I am not from a Jewish patriarchal line. My dad has a big, round Nigerian head. And when he married my mom, I did not look anywhere near as Jewish or crypto-Jewish as it seems. This is important. I urge you all to watch this video several times. When Christ said in the Bible, as a character in the Bible, that he's the root and offspring of David, what did he mean? This is important. It's in the end of the Bible. He says, give this testimony to the churches. I am the root and offspring of David and the bright morning star. It has to do with the heart. Well, how do we know that? We know that from Proverbs 21:2. People may think their own ways are right, but the Lord weighs the heart. It has to do with the motives. Okay? Proverbs 16:2, the Lord weighs the motives. It has to do with the way one lives his life, the water, the flow of one's life. Proverbs 27:19, as water reflects the face, so one's life reflects the heart. The heart. So now let me give you an example here, so you'll understand exactly why it's referring to me. All right. Write this down. Noah had 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. So all these people are related to Abraham, right? They're his family tree. They're part of Noah's family tree, and not that much time went by between Noah and Abraham. So if I had a child, okay, and he had a child, so if I had a grandson, and my brother had a grandson, and his grandson is more like me than my grandson, okay, then you could say that his grandson, if he came into the same religion and martial arts system, is the offspring of me and not mine. Okay, I don't have any children. In the future, the circumstances will not exist for someone to be right with God. And that's part of the I am. Okay? I am that I am. That's also why it says in Genesis 10, in the various translations, it says like, that's why it said like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord, right? So it says, okay, the offspring of Shem is like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. David was like Nimrod, a mighty conqueror, a mighty warrior, as Nimrod is described as, and a mighty hunter before the Lord. That is what it's referring to when it says the root and offspring of David. How else do we know this? Matthew 21, where it says, after several parables, including the parable of the barren fig tree, the parable of the 2 sons, right? Which one did what his father asked? The one who actually did it, not the one who said he's going to do it. The barren fig tree, if it didn't bear fruit, cut it down, throw it into the fire. Okay? Then comes the parable of the tenants in that same chapter. And he says, after he told him the story about a man sends his son, a man rents out a vineyard, and he sends a bunch of servants there, and the people who rented the vineyard to abuse and kill the servants, and last of all he said his son, and he said he was going to respect him because he's my son, and they took the son out of the vineyard and killed him because they wanted to take his inheritance. He then, Christ, after telling this story, as a character in the story, he says, what will the owner do to these guys, right? In other words, what would you do if you were the owner? And the Jews said to him that the owner will bring those wretches, they've called them names, he said he'll bring those wretches to a wretched end, okay? And he'll rent the vineyard to somebody else who's going to produce the fruit and give him his fair share when it comes harvest time. So, Jesus then says to him, haven't you ever heard the stone, which is compared to a king, right? The foundation, the heart, the center, okay, the capstone as well. The stone the builder rejected has become the chief cornerstone. The Lord has done this and is marvelous in our eyes. And he's quoting Psalm 118, where it says, all the nations surrounded me, but in the name of the Lord I cut them down. Okay, all the tenants surrounded me. And the flesh means nothing. But in the name of the Lord and true spirit, right with God and principle, I cut them down and threw them into the fire, like the barren fig tree, because they didn't obey God through me. Okay, that's what he's citing. He said, haven't you ever heard that the stone the builder rejected has become the chief cornerstone? The Lord has done this and is marvelous in our eyes. Therefore, I tell you, the kingdom of heaven will be taken away from you and your leaders, right? Kingdom and your leaders, and be given to a people who will perform its works. Well, who's the king in the story? It's God. And who's the tenants? The tenants have, someone, was the guy who, riled them all up. There was somebody leading the charge, right? So the representative of God was going to be from another people who perform his works. And who is he going to be like? Like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord, and the root and offspring of David. Why? Because he has the heart of David. Again, Proverbs 21:2. Okay? People may think their own ways are right. They may think their own family, their own tribe, their own flesh is right, but the Lord weighs the heart. Exodus 3:14, what God said to Moses. He said, you tell him I am that I am. You tell him I am who I am that I am what I will be. That's what you tell the Jews to get them to follow you. And we go to John 8, where Jesus says to him, he said, if you were the children of Abraham, regardless of your lineage, regardless of your flesh-based genealogy, then you would do what he did. And they said, we're not illegitimate children. You see, other people are illegitimate children. If they were the children of God, they would know my actions and they would rally to me. And those in their extended families, their races, their groups in this very multicultural nation show us a glimpse of the other types of people in their groups and how they don't obey God through me. Now we also know by destiny. If you go by science, right, not every single cell, not every organism evolved to be a human. So it was their destiny. There's a lot of nice fish and cats out there and dogs. Well, how come they didn't get to be a human being? Because they weren't destined to be. So those people you think, well, there's some nice people in Saudi Arabia or in Africa or wherever. Okay, why aren't they here obeying God through me? Because it's not their destiny. Many are called and few are chosen. Thank you.